Good. I talked about creating a resource group. That's where we stopped. Firstly, creating a resource group. Now, your resource group is created under your subscription. Good. Right. Now, we have talked about resource group. On that other side of things, I've explained everything down to resource group. If you run this code from this side till now, it's going to create resource group. I've showed you the bicep code for the resource group. You understand? And it creates it under the started scope of subscription. So now I created under file. This file is just like a submodule, a file that controls what is inside this module. You understand? A file that controls everything, all these resources under the module. You understand? You have, for instance, I have a deployment of app service. Good. I have my submodule file. This resource RG underscore resources is a submodule file. Submodule file is a file that controls the modules. For instance, I have a resource called app service. I can't move this resource to my main.bicep file because of this resource ought to be under resource group. I explained it. I said you have subscription. Inside subscription, you have resource group. Resource group is the only thing that can be created under subscription. Your resources on the other side, they are created under what is called a resource group. App service, for instance, app service is created under a scope of what is called a resource group. You understand? So now let me give you an idea of how the code works. Now for this code to work, for instance, it's going to create number one, it's going to create my resource group here. After creating my resource group, and my resource group is working, the code will go next and say, okay, what other thing should I do? It says I should go to my submodule. Can you see what I put here? Submodule. Or maybe I should just rename this thing submodule so you guys can understand it well. Rename. Let me call this submodule. Submodule. Okay. Let me create this. Let me call this thing submodule so you guys can understand it well when you are reading it. So I told you initially, I said your submodule are resources that are created in your what? In your resource group. Every resource is created on a resource group. But in here, I'm having my submodule, the controller. This is like a controller for my submodule. You understand? From there, I'm passing this resource group name separator, and all those other things into the submodule file. This is the submodule file. Under my submodule file, I will now have the module for my resources. For instance, I have a resource called app service. You get it? I have a resource called app service. App service, this is the module for app service. Right? Under it, you are going to see it's pointing to my resources app service.bicep. This is the code for app service.bicep. Everything that has to do with app service. So once it's running, it's going to create this code mainly. Is going to create, firstly, it's going to create a resource group. The next thing is going to go to, you go to my submodule, look for everything that's inside my submodule that I want to create. Under my submodule, what I have here is my app service. It's going to create my app service. Here, this is the code for my app service. You can see it. So that is everything. I've not done virtual machine. I'm going to do virtual machine maybe in our next class. But in this whole thing here, I know it can look like magic, kind of. It can look like maybe because the first IaC you'll be writing, it can look like magic. But please, I'm begging, how it works. Maybe I should just add a readme file to this. A new file. Cancel. under bicep, a new file, readme.md. Sorry, not MP. Readme.md. So everything I just explained now, let me put it down into writing. So how it works is that you have your subscription. From your subscription, it goes to for your subscription, it goes to your resource group. Where is this? Okay, from your subscription, it goes to your resource group. From your resource group, it goes to your resources. This is the Azure format. That's number one. The next thing again is that how the code works. How the code works. Number one, you have your main.bicep. Main.bicep. Under your main.bicep, what does this does majorly? It deploys your it deploys the resource group, and outside and it does your submodule and submodule. Can you see it? The next thing, your submodule. Your resource group file, that's resource group. .bicep. Your resource group .bicep just has majorly your resource group code. Resource group code. The next thing again, you have your submodule .bicep. The submodule .bicep, what does it control? It controls majorly your modules. Controls your modules. So under your modules, you have modules folder. So from your modules folder, you go to your resource folder. So from your resources folder, you have your app service .bicep. So what does your app service .bicep does? It has the code for your app service. Service and app service. Good. Anybody has any question? Because you guys will go into an assignment today. Anybody has any question on this? For now, I've explained it on the video. I've given you a documentation on it. So anybody with any question on it for now? Anybody? Okay. In the absence of none, good. I'll be pushing this code to GitHub. I'll be dropping the URL now. So the assignment for next week. You will now create you will create your module for networking Under your networking, you are going to create virtual machine. No, sorry, you create virtual network. The next thing again, you create another module for virtual machine. Under your module for virtual machine, you create virtual machine. You create virtual machine and you create everything that involves virtual machine. So this virtual network, you are going to create virtual network. You create subnet. Number one assignment, under this modules folder, I created a folder called resources, right? Under this modules folder, in your own repo, you create a new folder. You call that folder networking. Inside that folder, you have your virtual network.bicep. Let me put it very well so you guys can understand it. So you have your virtual network.bicep. You have your subnet also. Inside your virtual network.bicep, you have your virtual network and subnet. Don't worry. Virtual network and subnet. The two of them will be inside the virtual network.bicep. Under your virtual machine, folder, you understand? You are going to create your virtual machine bicep. After creating these things, please ensure that you link them to your subnode module. So link your VM and pinnet to your submodule .bicep file. Do you understand? So you know that in here I created a submodule file. Under my submodule file, I have my app service. Can you see it? You will now create another one for your virtual machine. You create another one for your this thing, virtual network. Also, that's the assignment for this week. Everybody, please do it. Any question? Any question? Please ask the question now. I'm begging. Everybody, please ask the question. I know. Tunde, Benga.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't think we can even ask questions now because this ones you gave was now the arrangement, the submodule, the parameters. Yes, got the parameters, yes. But it's there for us to digest it first. And I saw something when you search for biceps, I saw maybe like 307 Microsoft. Maybe we just go through one or two things on biceps, then watch the video again, fully grasp what you said because those things. For now, you start asking questions, we'll just frustrate you. So I think we just need to just digest this heavy load first. This information. This is actually information overload.
I know. I know. So that's the reason why I said that. You see, for me to come out and write the stuff out here is that I know definitely that watching the video won't solve the issue. You just have to go watch the video, clone the repo into your own repo. Now begin to look at it one after the other. This guy said that bicep code, the first thing I have to do is look at my main.bicep. What does it do? Where does it link to? You understand? Look at my resource group.bicep. What does it do? My submodule.bicep. what does it do? That's why I wrote everything out here. In my module folder, what does it do? You understand? I showed you guys my app service of Bicep. What does it do? So now I've explained everything here, showed you the code and so on and so forth. Now use that same method and refactor it and create your own. 2 codes you'll be creating. Number one, you are creating a code that works for virtual. The first thing you should do firstly is create your virtual network and your subnet. The second thing you have to do, you have to create your virtual machine. You can use ChatGPT to do it, no problem. The major thing is how do you fix the code? That's the major work. The work here is not on using ChatGPT to get the code. No. How do you fix the code in modules? How do you fix the code in this thing? So next week, when I see what you guys have done, then I can say, okay, let me now show you how to deploy it. Deployment is a full class on its own. How to deploy it manually, how to deploy it using GitHub Actions. That's on that class of its own. So that's why I don't want to give you information overload when it gets to that one. So this one is how do these modules work? How do you create it? How do you create the code? And so on and so forth. So with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not convince you that you are welcome to Azure DevOps class. Now you are working. Any other question?
Be able to confuse me, sir.
So now, do you now understand that when I was saying all these things you have been doing, it's just normal training. Okay, sorry, I'm just joking around it. So this time around,
Well,
this is not the real part of software development. Sorry to say, this is not the real practical part of it. Okay, any question?
I know, sir. I know this is because this is the first time we are coming across this, but I know, yeah, we'll pick up over time. But maybe during the week, questions will come up.
Yeah, so no problem. So I'll push the code to get up now, and please, you guys, please don't be scared of it. You can understand it. If we take us to have 3 classes consecutively, I don't mind. You understand? We can do 3 classes majorly on biceps. So far, you guys are now very good on biceps. Then we can now move to Terraform. You understand? Because if I do Terraform before I do biceps, I believe you guys will have some issues around it. Okay, so please, do you understand it now? So anybody has any question, please, you can send me an email, send me a DM, or chat on WhatsApp, any one of it. I'll be pushing the code to GitHub now. I'll send you guys the link, and you can follow the link to do the assignments. And I believe in a couple of while, you guys will be good with it. Yeah. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day.